So when the trailer for The Hunger Games Catching Fire came out, everyone was like, this is going to be the Empire Strikes Back of The Hunger Games. So I was like, will it? After seeing this movie, I can't agree more. The Hunger Games Catching Fire. So The Hunger Games Catching Fire is the second installment in the Hunger Games franchise. It's the second book in the Hunger Games book series. And obviously Catching Fire takes place after the events of the first film. And Katniss and Peeta, they're all like, yeah, we won the Hunger Games. We done it. Our district is very happy. Everyone looks up to us. Life is good. But it's not. And here's the thing that I really like about this movie. See, now from the first book of the Hunger Games, you were inside Katniss's head. So you get to see it from her point of view, what she's feeling. And they did a good job in that in the first film. But in the second film, they really show you what she's feeling and what she's seeing. Because the events of the first Hunger Games are really taking a toll on her. And I really like how they played out in that. And the character development in this film, my word, they really went all out with it. Before I get into everything else, like how I said earlier, a lot of people were saying this was going to be the Empire Strikes Back of the Hunger Games series. Is it? I can't agree more. This film, one word I gotta say, is fucking awesome. I mean, there's so many great things about this movie. See, I enjoyed the first one. Not to say the first one was bad, but there were so many things that Catching Fire improved on from the first one. First off, there's no shaky cam. There's no that. This film is directed smoothly, beautifully. I mean, when you see the Hunger Games arena, all these trees, the forest, and what I like about this film is more grittier, it's more darker than the first film. I mean, first off, let's get into the characters right now. Jennifer Lawrence as Katniss Everdeen completely kills it. She owns Katniss Everdeen. She definitely captures what I envisioned Katniss Everdeen to be. Her character really develops from this film. You see her character dealing with emotions, and she's just afraid because after what the first Hunger Games did to her, it's taken a huge toll on her. And Josh Hutcherson as Peeta. Now in my review of the Hunger Games, the first film, I said, he's not a great actor. I didn't really care for him. But in this film, they really do a great job of making you care for Peeta. And what I like about this film, you care for all the characters. I mean, obviously, Woody Harrelson as Haymitch, I've always liked him. I mean, I still like him in this film. But what I like about it is the relationship between Peeta and Katniss is more well developed. Because in my review of the first film, I said, you don't buy the relationship. You don't feel that she actually cares for it. They actually play that out in this film, that she's like, yeah, I don't really love him. I just did it so that I can get sponsors. And Peeta's like, well, you know, I kind of like you. So you see them dealing with that thing because they're going on tours. They got to pretend like they love each other. They got to act it out. And what I like about it, they really dive into the relationship. You buy it more in this film. You actually care for everyone. You care for Peeta, Katniss, even Liam Hemsworth as Gale. I can go on about the characters of how great they are, but the story of this film, my word, how magnificent this film is. When you look from the first one, you look into this one, you're like, dang. Yeah, stuff is getting real. And what I like is, and when they get into the Hunger Games battle, it's more intense. And I'm not saying there's explosions everywhere. I'm just saying it's more hand grippy, you know, on the edge of your seat, intense. And in the first one, I didn't really get that from the Hunger Games. And now in this Hunger Games, this Catching Fire, I really get more of that emotion, that intensity that I wanted. And this film kind of reminds me of Empire Strikes Back from Star Wars. It definitely has reminiscent feels to it, you know? Because at the end of the film, you're just like, I want to see more, I want to see more. That's how it's going to end? No! You know, you want to see more. You just like, you're just gripping your hands and you cannot wait for these next installments. I'm telling you right now, I can't wait for Mockingjay Part 1 and 2 because I freaking enjoyed the hell. I'm going to say, I really love this film. It's awesome. I highly recommend you guys going watching Hunger Games Catching Fire. Everything is just, you know, teen romance bull crap. You know, like Twilight? Don't think that at all. It's nothing remotely close to that, alright? It's its own thing. It's a great film. I recommend it highly. I'm going to give the Hunger Games Catching Fire an A. I want to give it an A+. There's just a little few things, just nitpicks that I have of giving the film an A+, but this film definitely deserves an A. It's so close to an A+, but this film improves everything that was wrong for the first one. Not to say the first one was bad, but within itself, this is definitely the Empire Strikes Back of the Hunger Games. So that's my review for the Hunger Games Catching Fire, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video, and have a nice day.